Hey guys, Five here with episode number 29 of the West Ham Grimmed on EAFC 24. Today, we're kicking off against a team who caused us a few issues last season. This season, they're actually not having the best of years. They are kind of a bit lower down the table, maybe than they would like. It is Brighton. Obviously, we are fighting high up the top of the table. We're currently in second place, just behind Arsenal, with 3 points behind Arsenal. So, we win, they lose. If flips, we'll go top because we do have the superior goal difference. Attack from Brighton. I thought initially we should have given away a penalty just before this one was given, but it wasn't. Then later, we get a penalty against us. A great save from Georgie. And the counter-attack is on. Tammy, triggering a run here. He's going to just receive this one. He's a great target man. He just knocks it down, holds it up against their defence. Nothing really coming on until Ward-Prowse returns. And it is a little 1-2 between those two. And it is well finished from James Ward-Prowse. Very, very nicely. 1-0. We're looking good. And these are the games we should be winning. These are the games we have been winning this season. We haven't slipped up as much this year, which is really good to see. Obviously, last year, getting used to the game, getting used to ultimate difficulty, we did slip up in a lot of games. Like against Bournemouth, we got smashed. We had this 6-3 defeat to Brighton last year, followed up by the 6-0 defeat to Arsenal. And that is where it switched. After that Arsenal game, we went back down to Legendary. We learnt the mechanics of the game. We learnt how to play the game. We then bumped it back up, not even a month in-game later, to Ultimate. And we have been really, really good since, which is it's good to see. This year isn't a game where we struggle throughout. It's also good to see that it's not a game where we will dominate throughout. We have found that middle ground on this game. And we can continue throughout this year. Probably going to get better, but sliders and all that are a thing. So we can continue to have realistic career modes. Obviously, it's not the most realistic right now because we are second place with West Ham in the second season. After finishing in 8th position last year, we spent a ton of money. We haven't really sold some of our players who probably realistically would have left had we not get European football. But I think for this first one, we'll just go as unrealistic as possible now. From here on out, we'll try and win the league. The next career mode we do, probably in the Bundesliga or in Spain or in Italy or France. Probably in the Bundesliga. I think that's where we will be going after this career mode. So, if we do win the league this year, maybe we, in this save, look to leave West Ham. Maybe we'll keep it in this save for a couple of seasons before we start a new save, which I think would be pretty good. But here against Brighton, we do eventually score a third goal. Tammy picking up his second. That's a brace for him after what has been a very, very good couple of games for him. He has kind of taken this season where he maybe hasn't been as prolific as last season, but maybe not as prolific as he wanted to be. And he's flipped it, started scoring excessive amount of goals. Obviously, the hat-trick against Leicester. 2 goals here. I think he scored 2 goals the previous game before that. He's just shot out. And he's now the top goal scorer in the league. He has got 20 goals this season. He has... Well, sorry, that was... I've just spoiled this game. Because he had 15 in the last episode. He's just scored 16 and 17. I think you can understand what is going to happen in this game here against Palace. He's going to score a hat-trick. So, there you go. Ruined it, spoiled it, whatever. It's Palace. We were always going to beat them. It was just how we were going to beat them. 7 minutes in, Tammy gets the first of his 3 goals. And, a season where he got 36 goals last year. Just couldn't quite break Haaland's record. This year he's already on 20, and there's about this is match day 30 actually, so there's 8 games left. He's not going to get the 36 unless he scores 2 goals per game for the rest of the season. And we've still got to play Liverpool, Arsenal and City. So I don't quite see that happening. But if I set him the challenge of 25, I think he's going to get that. You know, if he could get maybe 28, 29 in maybe even back-to-back 30-goal seasons, that would be insane. And I've got to check, actually, to see who West Ham's top goal scorer of all time in the Premier League is, because surely, if he gets a 36 and a 30-goal season, that's 66 goals. Surely he's got to be near the top. You know, West Ham haven't had the most prolific of strikers throughout their time in the Premier League, especially in the past few years. They've really not had good luck with the strikers. You think of Skamaka, Zaza, Arnautovic maybe was one of the better ones. But yeah, 66 goals potentially. I'm saying potentially. Can he get 10 goals in the next 8 games? It's entirely possible. Probably going to end on about 25, I would say. But this game, we're 3-1 up here against Palace. We've basically secured this game. Tammy, little 1-2 with Costa, great strike from him. He's kind of slowed down. Tammy's picked up, he's kind of slowed down. So, having to find the kind of happy median between those two players will be an interesting one, whether it means a change in formation, whether it means putting Costa up top with Tammy. That'll be an interesting one to find out over the next few months in this game. But there is Tammy's hat-trick, the last kick of the half before the whistle is blown. And we're going to sub him off at half-time, bring on Cameron Archer. You know, he's already secured the hat-trick. Last time we subbed off Tammy when he secured the hat-trick was against Leicester, and we ended up drawing that game 3-3. I thought the game was wrapped up. We took him off, and it didn't quite end out that way. But Cameron Archer does score in this one, 5-1, 53rd minute. That's what he does. Cameron Archer comes in, seals games off. Whether it's in, if that's in the Premier League, because in the cup games, he ends the games himself. He scores, I think it was 14 odd goals in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup combined this year, which is absolutely insane. But 5-1, the game is wrapped up. We can simply just move our attention to the next game. They do score here. I think maybe, I don't know if Georgie or Wan-Bissaka. Both of them probably could have got to that if the other one wasn't there. Georgie could have got to it if Wan-Bissaka wasn't there. Wan-Bissaka could have got to it if Georgie wasn't there. Just a mix-up. Nothing terrible about that. You know, we move on. A freak goal, you could say. But here, trying to make it 6-2. Trying to just, regain that 4-goal lead. Put some more dominance into the performance. And look to put ourselves in the best possible position to win the league. I think if we win the league this year, I think I am going to move on. In this save, we'll stay in the same save. Maybe we'll move to a different English team. Maybe we'll move abroad. I'm not too sure. But if we win the league this year, I will move teams from West Ham. Maybe I'll bring Tammy with me. But the hat-trick for him. And the same match day, Arsenal played Manchester United. Arsenal played Manchester United in the next match day, They won their game. It is still the 3-point gap. Everton, Luton and Southampton are the bottom 3. Luton look almost kind of the most like they're already relegated pretty much. They're on 14 points this season. It's not been a very good year for them. 20 goals in the Premier League for Tammy, top goal scorer, as I said. Coming into this one, we're taking on Brentford. Now, they're another team. They're a bit of a bogey team, similar to Brighton. Last year, they caused us a lot of problems. This year, we're kind of looking to take back those problems and get revenge, basically. This is going to be the final game of today's episode. There is going to be another episode tomorrow. That will be the penultimate episode of the season. And on Friday, we'll have the season finale, where we hopefully win the league. A Carabao Cup and League double. Not too bad, if you ask me. But obviously, we do still have to play Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man City. So that's 3 potential losses remaining in this season. So don't count your chickens, as they say. We are 1-0 up. We are going to lose a man in Mavropanos at the half an hour mark. Goes in. I didn't think that was a red card tackle. Referee deemed otherwise. Obviously went to VAR and they were like, it's a dangerous tackle. Send him off. So, we're up against it now for about an hour in this game. Thankfully, we had some boys on the bench that could come in. We've moved Alvarez to centre-back. I just wanted to test him out, see how he did there. We've brought on James Ward-Prowse in the centre midfield. So we'll just see how things kind of see themselves with Alvarez at centre-back, because I think it's a good experiment. And it could be a good change for him that allows us to maybe sign a new CDM. Obviously, Tapsoba's been brilliant. Mavropanos has been brilliant. But the drop-off from them to Harwood Bellis and Harry Maguire is quite significant. So we can either sign new backup centre-backs that are better, or we can move Alvarez, drop one of Mavropanos, probably Mavropanos, to a backup centre-back and sign a new world-class CDM. Just before half-time, Tammy goes and scores his 21st goal of the season. Haters, he can't hear the haters. He wants to hear the haters. They fire him on. They push him forward. The second half of this game was dull. We sat on our 2-0 lead with our 10 men. As you can see here, this is exactly what we did the whole second half. Georgie made some good saves. That was the most kind of major of them all. And we did win the game 2-0. We kept a clean sheet with 10 men for an hour. Very well done to the defence. But as we close it out, this is the week where Arsenal played Manchester United. And you're probably thinking, why did he mention that before this game? Well, it is because Manchester United beat Arsenal at the Emirates. Meaning, we closed that 3-point gap. We are above them on goal difference with 7 games to go. Like I said, of those 7 games, 3 of them are against Arsenal, Liverpool and City. So it's not easy. But I hope you guys will enjoy this one. If you have, please like, subscribe, and peace.